Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces. You can have Pisces anywhere in your chart. You can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you're here watching this reading, that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Okay, so Pisces, there's a reason why normally I would be recording Capricorn reading right now, and there's a reason why I got called to do your video first. They just want me to correct that, not like your reading first. For some reason, they wanted me to correct that. I don't know. Anyway, the reasoning being is because we are getting ready to go into Pisces season. And when I was picking out the cards, I kind of had that in mind, but I was still planning on doing Capricorn first. But as I was kind of like picking out decks and shuffling them to kind of get the energies flowing and everything, like it was just like, this is a message for Pisces, this is a message for Pisces. And that's the reason I have two cards already out here, is because they were cards that came out when I was shuffling to get just the energy of just to pick out decks, and they were saying that it was strongly for Pisces. Okay, now so I do know what these cards are, but I'll show you here in a minute after I get through what I'm going to say next. So also I'm being called to, I don't know if it'll be for every sign. I think it'll be for every sign, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I've been called to look through this book. It's like 100 habits, like forming like 100 habits, like healthy habits. And I was called to go to the 12th one because you represent the 12th house. And so I was like called to go to the 12th one. And the message on that actually relays really well with these cards. So I'm actually going to show you these cards too, just so you can kind of understand what's happening here. So we have Self-Mastery from the Chakra Reading Oracle cards, and then Earth from the Empathic Oracle. Okay, so what the message was in the book was take a walk, rain or shine. Now that's the habit that is being encouraged here, is to every day take a walk no matter what the weather is outside. And when I read that, I also heard, like, you know how like coaches, like in movies or just in real life in general, they will say like take a lap. Say you're not doing something correctly and they're just like take a lap, whether that's a form of punishment or if it's just like you need to clear your head for a minute, take a lap and regroup, right? With these cards, what it's kind of telling me is there's something that you're wanting to master. Now with this message, it could be your physical form. It doesn't have to be, but there's something that you are trying to, it's like manifest, but not really, because you're taking it into your own hands. That's like the self-mastery, right? It's like using manifestation and then your own ability as well. And I think an important part of this self-mastery is the grounding, because if you look at this card in this deck, they have cards representing not just the normal 7 chakras, but also, I think this is called the, oh shoot, what is it called? Hang on, let me grab the book here real quick. It's the Soul Star chakra. This is the Soul Star chakra, and then down here at our feet is the Earth Star chakra. And hang on. Sorry, I was just kind of saying something about the numbers. But it's like the Earth Star chakra kind of gets forgotten, or not forgotten, but it's just not normally dealt with. And then the hand chakras are also lit up here. That's interesting. Anyway, the solar plexus is the chakra of this card in particular, and what that tells me is like it is like kind of a for some reason, like exercise seems like a very solar plexus type of energy where, it like we're driven by that masculine energy when we're exercising. But I think an important part that might be being left out in the self-mastery is the grounding, is the rooting it into the earth. Because we have this earth card here, and it's showing like a bunch of trees and their roots growing down and down and down and down, further and further. And like through all the levels of the earth. And I think that taking a walk outside can be very grounding, especially if you do it barefoot. And then, how it says take a walk, rain or shine, it's kind of like you're also embracing all the elements the earth has to offer. It's like it's not just like honoring yourself, but it's also honoring earth. And then when you do it barefoot, when you walk on the ground barefoot, it's such a grounding exercise. Like, it's really, really good. It's a really good way to ground the energy you want to be in. Now, in the book, it's interesting because they're also talking about listening to podcasts, books, or music while you're doing these walks. You obviously don't have to. You can just take in what you're seeing, and processing that, like being present in the moment. But then also, like, maybe there's something, like if you're listening to something, it can trigger like different thoughts in your head and reasons for wanting to kind of go on this journey. Okay, so let's go ahead and move those out of the way. We're going to start with the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. What is the message for Pisces, please? The message for Pisces. And I feel like spring Pisces season represents like spring is just around the corner. And maybe this is a good time to form this habit where it's like you're starting to kind of wake up from that winter slumber, right? The earth is starting to wake up from that winter slumber. And if you are in winter or not, it's just, it represents that rebirth type of energy, and like, or getting ready for the transition of, like, even the 12th house is kind of like dream state kind of energy, and which you rule the 12th house. So yeah, like just getting out of nature, it's a good time to form that habit, because then like once winter rolls back around, you'll be in the habit of like going outside and taking a walk every day, no matter what the weather is, and you'll already be comfortable with the changing of the seasons and the elements and all that good stuff. Okay, what is the message for Pisces, please? Okay, we have the Emperor, okay, and then the Ace of Swords. This is so funny just because the Emperor represents Aries, and Aries is the sign after you. And I was like saying how Pisces season leads up to the beginning of spring, and Aries, the first day of Aries season is the first day of spring. And so it's like you're getting a bunch of clarity about hang on, we're saying something about a rebirth. I don't view Pisces as like a super masculine sign, but you have the solar plexus here, and then now you have the Emperor here. And Aries is a very masculine energy. And the Emperor is a very masculine energy. And then Swords is also, wait, no. Swords, hang on. Water and earth are the feminine elements, and then fire and air are the masculine elements. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that. So you have a lot of masculine energy here. So maybe you're being guided to really follow your solar plexus, follow your gut instincts, and see where it leads you. Like, don't let fear, because that's the shadow of the masculine energy, is the ego, um, or the ego in a shadow aspect, because the ego, it tries to prevent us from following our instincts, because it's scary, right? And our ego is built, or like supposed to protect us. But I'm getting this feeling that, like, use it in its light attribute, following your instincts and seeing how far your instincts can take you. Like, almost like on that walk, say you go outside for a walk and you're just guided. Okay, I'm going to turn left right here. I'm going to turn right. You never know where your instincts are going to lead you, but it will always lead you to somewhere you're supposed to be. So it's like you have such strong clarity with following your instincts, following your gut instincts is what I'm getting here, because the Ace of Swords is about clarity and truth, paired with the Emperor, who is, it's a ruler who is supposed to be like strong yet giving. Like, an emperor trusts themselves, they trust in what they're doing. And with the self-mastery, yeah, it's like you are trying to figure out how to trust your instincts. And a big way that you can do that is to step one, follow your instincts. Step two, ground your instincts. Like, once you get to the destination, make sure you ground it. Like, say you're on that walk. This is just an example too. Like, of course, like, go on a walk. Walks are wonderful, but it's also just like an example for life. You're going on this walk, you turn left, you turn right, you turn left, you turn left, you turn right, whatever you do, right? And then when you get to the destination, like, you will know the destination when you get there. You won't know the destination before you get there. You'll know it when you get there. And once you get there, you make sure you ground it as deep down as you can. Like, sit there and do a grounding exercise. Be barefoot. I don't know why they're telling me to bring this back up, because I got a message before I started your reading that I didn't bring up when I was talking about all the pre-energy that I was going through. But they said something about the perimeter, like the perimeter of your property you live on, the perimeter of even inside your house, the perimeter of your town, something about like walking along the perimeter of things. It's a good way to see everything within your grasp from a new angle, right? Like, when we are in our homes, like, say you're walking around the perimeter of your home, the inside, we don't ever stand like in the corner and look at the room from that angle. It's a new perspective. There's something about, by walking the perimeter of something, you're getting a new perspective. And that can be totally metaphorical too. Like, say you're on this health journey or something, and you're very focused on just the walking, right? Or something like that. You're very focused on one thing, but you need to look at like a broader picture, like the whole story, not just one aspect of the story. How it's kind of like with this 100 Habits book, right? The walking is just one healthy habit that you can form. There's 99 other ones listed in this book, and thousands more in actual life, right? Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna clarify. Where are we at? 15 minutes? Okay, let's look at the Emperor. Okay, the Lovers. That's so weird because I shuffle with all of my cards upright, and on the bottom, the Two of Cups is in reverse. But like all the other cards are upright. And it's interesting because the Two of Cups is kind of like the minor arcana of the Lovers. And it's interesting because here it's upright and here it's reversed. I'm getting the fact that there could be an imbalance in your masculine and feminine energies, um, for sure. It's almost like right now your ego could be taking over, and it's like an imbalance of masculine energy, or you're too much in your feminine. I don't know. But it feels like either you're too much in your feminine and lacking masculine, and this is kind of encouraging you to embrace your more masculine energies, or you are very heavily in your masculine energy and in like, but in a negative, not in its shadow aspect, right? With that fear based thinking. Um, and it's interesting here too because there's like a mountain between them. So it's like, it's almost like you feel like there's a mountain to overcome in order for these aspects of your life to be balanced. Maybe it's like you know, you are very spiritually inclined, like you have your mind and your emotions like in check, but you don't have a lot of like the earthly abundance that you wish that you had, or vice versa. Maybe you have like a lot of the earthly abundance, but you don't have a lot of the spiritual and emotional balance. Is kind of what I'm getting, especially because the Two of Cups being reversed, because it's a very similar card. One is upright and one is reversed. And so it's like one thing is going well, the other not so much. And you really want to find a balance. And I really think that grounding and earthing is a really, really good. And you can Google, how to ground or how to earth. And there's so many different ways to do it. I just heard gardening. We are coming in the season where the seeds are being planted, right? So there's something you're wanting to plant and bloom and harvest. I just that's so crazy that I just said those because like it's like spring, summer, fall. Spring we plant, summer they bloom, fall we harvest. There's something about the cycles here. You're needing to figure out a cycle of why you're living more in one energy than the other. Okay, let's look at the Ace of Swords. What is the Ace of Swords for Pisces, please? Ace of Swords for Pisces. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man. With the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. Okay. I think you feel like your clarity is not present right now. It's like you're waiting on a moment of clarity. And it's almost like that instinctual thing that I was talking about earlier, like when you go on the walk, you won't know the destination until you get to the destination. That's what this energy feels like. It's like you won't have clarity on whatever this issue is, like this imbalance, until you get to the destination. And that's the self mastery. That's the path of the self mastery. It's like you don't know if you're mastering yourself or not. All you can do is try your hardest and know that you're doing the best that you can. And that's kind of what this is. Like you don't understand if you're doing the right thing. But have no fear. Like, even if we're on the wrong path, quote unquote, it's never the wrong path because it's our path, right? Like, even if it leads to an outcome that isn't for us, it still teaches us everything we need to know for the next path, right? So it's like I don't think you're doubting yourself. You might be doubting yourself. I'm not quite getting that. It's more like of an impatience kind of feeling. Like, I just want to know if I'm headed in the right direction. I just want to know. All you have to do is worry about the journey, right? The journey and grounding along the way. Okay? Now, that's interesting. I always look at the bottom cards and I didn't for these two cards. This is the Hierophant. And here's like two more. It's like very similar energy to the Lovers, and it's the card right before the Lovers. But it's like you might be seeking guidance outside of yourself. And that's not, only you will know. No one else is going to know. That's what I'm kind of getting with that Hierophant paired with these cards here, the Emperor and the Ace of Swords. Is look to yourself. I mean, yes, other people can have advice for us. This reading is advice for you, right? But only you will know your true path and where you're headed, okay? Now we're going to use the Green Witch Oracle to get some advice for you guys. What's the advice for Pisces, please? The advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. I just heard this too. Maybe keep a journal. Like, if you decide to do the daily walks, keep a journal of something that caught your attention, like, every day during your walk. And it's like those things will tell a story or something. I don't know why I just got that message, but okay. What is the advice for Pisces, please? Advice for Pisces regarding this reading. Advice for Pisces watching this reading. What's the advice for Pisces, please? Oh, don't fall on the ground. Okay, so we have communication, P. Yeah, here's the 2 again. With the 2 of cups that was in reverse. P, communication. It's like being in a space with someone or other people, right? You're in like this little, I'm hearing like a tight-knit community. And instead of like, say you have a good idea. Say this is at work or something, right? You have a good idea, but you feel like, oh, it can't possibly, no one else will think this is a good idea. I'm not going to say anything. Someone else will come up with the idea or, come up with a better plan. But I'm hearing like, that's not following your instincts. That is not doing yourself justice, right? Because if you don't speak up, like, that plan that you have could be the best plan that anyone has ever heard, and you will be rewarded for it, but you will never know until you speak up for yourself. So I'm hearing like, and even if it's not like a literal form of communication like that, it's almost like I'm getting the sense of like Earth. Like, we're all just like a bunch of peas in a pod called Earth, right? And I'm getting like the walks are a form of communication with the Earth. The Earth will communicate to you when you actually go out and pay attention to it. And it will lead you more into your intuition. It'll lead you more into your, like your intuitive abilities, and then by using your intuitive abilities in all aspects of your life, not just the walks, it's going to open up abundance for you, So that's kind of what I'm getting there with that. Continuance. We have apple on the bottom with continuance. It's so interesting because the apple kind of represents humanity's ability to choose, right? The humanity's ability to screw themselves over, pretty much. You know what I mean? And but it's like choosing to continue on in spite of your flaws, like continue on towards your goals, to your self-mastery in spite of your flaws, because we're all worthy. The only way we can get better is by acknowledging our problems, our issues, our flaws. Because if we never look at them, if we never see them, we'll never get better, right? So continuance kind of is telling me, like, just try to continue this plan for as long as you can. Like the walking, even if it's a metaphor for something else in your life, continue, like persevere is your advice. Persevere, because the more you persevere, the more the universe and Mother Gaia will communicate with you, will teach you how to use your intuition. Okay, Pisces, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. I thank any of you for being present today. Any of your guides that were present, any of my guides that were present, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.